So Tucker, tell me, what do we got going on here?
So these are a couple brand new saws that this company got, and we're gonna make some mounts for them.
Okay. How do we figure out how we're gonna get these mounts in here?
It's really just kind of a giant game of Tetris.
I'm Stephanie Hoffman, and I've been in the welding industry for more than 20 years, working as a welder, fabricator, instructor, and now with the American Welding Society. Where I get to travel the country meeting people who are building incredible things while introducing the next generation to careers in welding and metal fabrication.
Hi, I'm Stephanie from AWS, and on this episode of Metal America, we're at Fire and Safety Services, and we're going to be chatting with Tucker, a welder fabricator. Let's go head inside the shop. We're here at Fire and Safety Services with Tucker, and he's going to show us a little bit today about all the rad stuff he's got going on. We see fire trucks and some first responding vehicles. Let's hear it.
This is where we do all of our metalwork, welding, bending, fitting, all that stuff, mainly to upfit new fire apparatus that come in from the factory.
So how many different fire trucks do you think you guys work on?
As a company, Fire and Safety Services, I believe we do anywhere between 50 and 75 new sales per year. That's just new trucks, as well as service. You know, rusted pipes, plumbing, broken this, broken that. Fire trucks tend to get beat up pretty good.
Tucker, I see a lot of cool equipment around here, and I really want to see what it is that you guys do firsthand. So what are we going to make today?
I've got a couple new saws, brand new saws here that are going on this rig behind us. So we'll start out by making a couple mounts for these.
All right, sounds good.
Great.
Let's do it. So Tucker, tell me, what do we got going on here?
So these are a couple brand new saws that this company got, and we're gonna make some mounts for them.
Okay. How do we figure out how we're gonna get these mounts in here?
It's really just kind of a giant game of Tetris. Everything has to fit and work right, and there's a lot of times you don't know when it's gonna fit.
Okay, so there's no like specific specs every time you make this. So every time you're making these mounts, you don't really know what you're getting into yet.
Right, we don't know where they're gonna fit, we don't know how they're gonna fit. I do have drawings of all the common saws, which makes things easier to fabricate, but as far as the way it's actually going to fit and sit inside the rig, everyone's different.
All right, so you've got a game plan of how we're gonna make this. What do we call this?
This is saw mount.
Saw mount. All right, so we're gonna make this saw mount. What's the next step?
Let's go make it.
All right. So, looks like you've got a large book here full of all sorts of fun drawings. And it looks like these drawings you do yourself.
I do.
All right, so we're trusting your drawings
They've
to
worked
create
so
something.
far. They've worked so far.
For these $1 million
Absolutely.
trucks. All right, so no engineer here. You're the engineer, you're the fabricator, you're the man with the plan.
So these are just all the sizes and dimensions and things that we have to cut to make a mount for this. So we'll take these dimensions, we'll go find some material, we'll cut it up, and we'll start to make a saw mount.
All right, how many bends are we gonna need on this piece?
Only gonna be 3 bends and 4 pieces.
3 bends, 4 pieces. We're about to do it right now. All right, so you've taken me to the shear. What size shear is this?
It's a 6 foot, I believe it's a 35 ton.
Okay, 35 ton, what's its shearing capabilities?
It'll do probably up to 1/4 inch steel.
Okay. All right,
Not
so
push it.
we're not pushing it today because
No.
we're running, what is this, 3/16 aluminum?
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna cut some 3/16 aluminum. Shouldn't take too much force from this bad boy right here.
I already checked the measurements, so we'll go ahead. This will be our first piece. It's gonna be 18 by 8.
All right, so we got it set to 18 inches, and we've got to do this just one cut.
Get one cut, then we have to get the piece, then we have to do another cut.
Okay.
And we have 3 more pieces to do after that.
All right. Are you ever worried about your stuff not working out right and time it costs you to design this stuff and make it as fast as possible? I mean, you're kind of a one-man show here.
You have to be. As a fabricator, you have to be able to do it all.
Okay.
There's a difference between welders and fabricators. Some people just sit and weld all day. Fabricators need to be able to use every piece of equipment and make something from nothing.
All right, I'm really looking forward to using that gigantic press brake. It seems a bit overkill for this.
It definitely is overkill for those. But that's half the fun of it.
All right, well, I'm ready to definitely check out this machine. And looking around your shop, you've got lots of, essential fabrication tools in any fab shop. You've got, a lathe, some drill presses, band saws, sanding and grinding stuff. You've got it all in here, but we're stopping here at this little vertical band saw because we've got to cut some notches in the pieces before we make them. We have made it. We're here at this gigantic, totally overkill
Yes, absolutely.
press brake. This press brake has insane capabilities when it comes to the materials it can actually bend and put angles in. Okay, because this piece is essentially going along
Yes, it's going to sit
here.
right here. It's going to bend around this corner.
Okay, how are we going to set this thing in there?
So we already have the machine programmed, knowing whichever this needs to be. Our bend is going to be right there, so our piece is going to fit.
Where?
It's going to sit right up against those two fingers.
So we got all of our parts bent up, cut up, fitted. Now it's time to do what I love, welding, and welding aluminum, most importantly.
Absolutely.
The cool thing about welding and getting into this trade is that you can kind of adapt and make it your own. There's textbooks telling you, these are your parameters, but everybody welds a little bit differently. Now, I'm looking at your setup. It's a lot different than the setup that I run. For starters, your tungsten sticks way out farther than me. Why do you do that?
That's just a habit that I've always done. I think I can see better that way. As long as I can keep it out of the puddle, then we're good.
All right, and I see you're running a cordless, you've got a cordless foot pedal jammy here, which is pretty cool technology. It just sends the signal right to the torch as soon as he puts down pressure on that foot pedal to start the arc. So there's a lot of different setups. You can do a regular wired controlled foot pedal, or you can do a finger switch, a button, roller, whatever you want, and actually have it attached to the torch. Me personally, I love to run a finger controlled setup for running aluminum. I just think it's really easy. I run a lot of anodized, so with anodized you need that initial really hard blast of power to cut through that oxide, that anodized layer. So for me, finger setup is the best, but I see you've got the foot pedal, so I'm looking forward to trying your way here. I don't know if I'm going to run it with the tungsten sticking out so far. You're a brave soul.
If you dip it, I'll make fun of you.
He's a brave soul with his tungsten out that far. It's really interesting to see how you're doing it here in your shop, and it's really cool to see parts that are going to be put on a fire truck, and we're going to be able to see this thing cruising down the road one day, and hopefully never coming to my house. So, is it time to weld this thing or what?
We can tack this thing together.
All right, let's tack it together and get her welded up, and let's see what she looks like on the truck. She looks good.
Should work.
Should work. Let's see if this big bad boy fits. Oh, so that's how it's gonna sit in there.
Just like that. Saw fuel, spare blades, oil for the saw, and then I normally try to get the tools for the saws into that same unit. And once we have everything made and fit, then we'll go ahead and bolt everything.
All in this one drawer with these two giant saws already here.
It's all about maximizing space.
Tucker, so you showed us today just one small item that you make here when it comes to a very broad scope of things that you do fabricate and weld at Fire and Safety Services. You're in a really niche market in the welding and fabrication world. What has it done for you in your own personal life and for your career?
It's great. It's good. As a firefighter myself, I'm able to kind of, talk the talk when I meet with different customers, and I know what they're talking about when it comes down to it. And just being able to build things that help first responders go out there and do their job is as rewarding as it comes.
Your facility is absolutely amazing. I don't think I ever thought I was gonna get to stand next to one of these and see and actually help make a piece that's gonna go, down the road and hopefully save some lives someday. And I've never been in a fire truck before, never ever in my whole life. And I feel like this is a perfect opportunity to say, can I have a ride, please?
Absolutely, let's go.
Let's go. See you next time on Metal America. Should I have my seatbelt on?